Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. We're going to dive in and take a quick look at how KITE would work on a Windows laptop. So we're going to just real quick switch the screen around and we're going to see firsthand how this would look. On our desktop, we're going to see that we have a KITE student portal icon. We're going to go ahead and click on this real quick. We just double click and right away we see that the screen turns black. We see the little pop-up for KITE appear. And then we see an area for our username and password. We're going to go ahead and sign in with just a test account. This is not your actual real account. You're going to use the information that your teacher supplies for you. Once you've popped in your username and password, you're going to click on the sign in button. It's going to think for just a few moments. Once you're signed in, you're going to see it's going to say welcome back, and then it's going to have your name. So if I was a student, I'd say welcome back, Brian. Since this is just a test account, it's going to say student. Then I see that I have a sign out option up here and a close KITE option. Everything that we are going to do for real when we take the actual English or math practice tests, the interim tests, we would do it over here on this side. We're going to look at the practice test today since we're just going to be kind of looking to see how it works. So I'm going to click on practice test, and right away I see that I have three options. You're going to have, if you're in grades 3 through 8, you're going to have English and math, and if you're in grades 10, you're only going to have English, but you just click on the test that you want. So we'll click on English, for example, and we're going to click on take a test, and we're going to see how the actual process works. So it's going to load up. First thing we're going to do is we're going to have instructions. You can scroll through these instructions. Scroll down, read through it, make sure that you understand how the different tools work, make sure you understand how navigation works, read about the icons. You can have this read to you as well. We're going to click begin once we finish reading all the instructions. All right, as the test loads, we're going to see that we have 13 questions on this test. We can see the status of those questions up here. We can click between to navigate on those. We can see that we have a back and next button down here at the bottom that we can use to go back and forth. And we're going to go through and we're just going to actually start practicing or taking this practice test. Over here on the left hand side of the screen, we do see that we have this control bar. This opens up our toolbox so we can pull up things like the pointer, the highlighter, the striker, the note taker, and so on. So we can use those tools. You can use any one of those tools that you want. We're going to close that out for now. And we're just going to go ahead and leave everything on the pointer tool. So I'm going to go first question. I would read the directions up here in the very first part of the question. So the directions for this will be for this question. You will choose a word from the drop-down menu to complete the sentence. It's important that you always read the directions so you know exactly what that question is asking you. Then I would read the actual question. In this case, excuse me, student is writing a report about Kansas. One of the sentences from the report has an error in grammar. Read the sentence and choose the word that corrects the error. So we would come down here, we would find the sentence. In class, we learned that Kansas blank a state in 1861. So again, we would try to find the answer that best fits that. And then once we're ready, we would click next to move on to the next question. Okay, it's going to think for just a few moments. Notice that we have a blue dot up here at the top. This means that that question's been answered. And we would go through and we would continue to choose the best answer for each question. Again, we would make sure that we read the directions because each question may have some different information. It may be asking you to do different things. It may be asking you to select multiple things. So for this question, you choose a sentence from the paragraph and so on. So read the directions. Make sure that, for example, on this one, it says which 3 sentences best fit the audience. So I would come in and I would select the 3 that I thought best fit. So I would check the boxes. So you can see how. So in that case, I would select 3. And again, I'm not saying those are correct answers. I'm just demonstrating. So you can see how I've answered 1 and 4. So I would continue to go through answering all the questions. And we're going to go ahead and skip to the end just so we see what it looks like. So we're going to pretend that we've answered all these questions to the best of our ability. And we're now done with question 13. So we're going to hit review end. What it's going to show you now is it's going to show you your progress. Every question that has a blue dot has been answered. Every question that's just a red square still needs to be answered. So if you see a bunch of red squares, you can click on the go back button. It's going to take you back into the test and you can answer them. So again, we're going to go through, we're going to pretend we've answered all of those. So we've answered them all. We're going to pretend that all of these have a blue dot and we're going to click end. So in this case, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to end? You're going to click yes. It's going to think for just a moment. And then you would be back to this page. So then you would go back in when you take your next test when your teacher tells you to. For now, we're going to close KITE. So we're going to click on close. We're going to click the OK on the dialog. And we would sign out of KITE. So that's how KITE works on a Windows laptop.